So now we're going to talk about the final steps before you put your instrument back in its case. It's important that you get all the spit, saliva out of the instrument before you pack it away. And if you notice on this euphonium, it has a water key down at the bottom. Some of the slides don't have water keys, so those will be manually pulled out and drained. So when you finish playing, and pretty often while you play, you can just drain the spit out. But I always do it right before I put it back in the case. So you can just blow a little bit of air out through the instrument and make sure the spit is out. On the second valve slide, you notice that there's no water key here, so you could pull this one out, and a lot of saliva collects in here, and you would just drain that out. And you can drain them out the other slides as well before you put it back in. So those are those two slides, and then you've got one here and one on the back as well. You can also turn it upside down to drain any spit out of that. The trumpet has two water keys. Our trumpet has two water keys. Most of them do. Some of them only have one on the main tuning slide. And how you do this is put your mouthpiece in. You don't have to, but just a demonstration purpose. I'm just going to drain the spit out to where it's all ready to go. It's not so important on this one that you pull this valve slide out and drain it, because all your saliva is running that way anyways. On the horn, you notice that this particular horn, and most of them, have just one water key, and it is attached to the lead pipe. And so that's because when you play the horn correctly and it's positioned, most of the saliva it gathers here. Some of it disperses throughout the instrument, but a large amount of it gets collected right here. So this is a water key that you want to drain out pretty regularly. And that's while you're playing. But when you're finished with playing and you get ready to put it back into the case, you can pull the slides out to drain spit. But if you just start rotating the instrument to the left or counterclockwise a few times, just imagine that all your saliva is traveling through these pipes. And so this could take three times. And then you'll see it as you spin it. You'll see saliva start to drain out your bell or your lead pipe if you're trying to move it this way. But you always want to go in this direction, because that's the way the direction of the coil for the tubing goes. If you still have a lot of problems, in other words, if you're playing and you start to experience gurgling sounds, then you know you've got some water trapped in some of your individual slides. So you can just pull your slide out and drain that out one at a time. Notice I push the valve down at the same time, drain those out, and you do that with all of them until you don't experience gurgling anymore. And that's how you get the saliva out of your French horn before you put it in the case. And lastly, I always wipe the fingerprints off, any residual oils, before I put it in the case. I wipe it down, put it in the case. And then we're going to talk about cleaning the mouthpiece. So mouthpiece, it's important that you clean this often. I use warm soapy water and a soft bristle brush. This is a mouthpiece brush, and our mouthpiece brushes have a little nylon tip on the end of it to keep it from scratching the inside of the cup of the mouthpiece. And I use warm soapy water as just a light detergent. I don't put it in boiling water. I don't put it in a dishwasher. I just use warm soapy water, a bucket, or a small container. So imagining we have that with us, you just dunk it in the warm soapy water, and then mouthpiece brush you're just going to use to clean out the cup, and then the shank, and this is the throat, so you want to get your brush all the way through it if you can, and then you rinse it out with lukewarm water. It doesn't need to be super hot, and then just dry it off with a paper towel, and that's how you maintain your mouthpieces. We also recommend that you bring your instrument to a repair shop at least once a year to have it professionally cleaned. I hope these videos help. Happy practicing.